is ABC 7 at 5 Weekend.
His precious Marcellus Clay. He's young, he's handsome, they know it. He's a poet, a prophet, and many people believe he'll be the next heavyweight champion of the world. I saw Sonny Liston a few days ago, Cash. Ain't he ugly? He's too ugly to be the world champ. The world champ should be pretty like me.
He was much more than that. Boxing legend Muhammad Ali has died at the age of 74. Here he is lighting the torch at the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta. The legendary boxer who proclaimed himself the greatest died yesterday in Scottsdale, Arizona. A family spokesman said Muhammad Ali had been at a hospital since Thursday, suffering from respiratory problems. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Evan Fullen. Josie Ortegon has the night off. In the coming days, Muhammad Ali's remains will be taken to his hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. This ahead of his public funeral Friday, which will include former President Bill Clinton and his longtime friend Billy Crystal. Muhammad Ali was no stranger to the borderland. In May of 2000, the champ visited El Paso and Juarez. He teamed up with the Christ for Mexico mission in Juarez to help feed the hungry. Ali got the help of Global Village to bring in a truckload of food that would help feed thousands of children in Juarez. It all went down at the Kiki Romero Gym. ABC 7 reporter Julio Cesar Chavez went back to that gym today. We're going to have his story in just a bit. But right now, tributes are pouring in from around the world. Fans of the legendary boxer whose legacy has become much more than what he did with the gloves on. Polo Sandoval has the latest from the late champion's hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. He begins our complete coverage.
I took up the world! I took up the world!
In the boxing ring, Muhammad Ali brought grace and power.
I'll be pecking and a poking, pouring water on his smoking.
His wit always packed a punch as well.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
He passed away at an Arizona hospital Friday. His family spokesperson says he died of septic shock due to unspecified natural causes. Ali was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 1984. His funeral will be in his hometown of Louisville, Kentucky Friday. It'll be open to the public.
Muhammad Ali was truly the people's champion, and the celebration will reflect his devotion to people of all races, religions, and backgrounds.
Ali was born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. in 1942 and quickly started fighting at the age of 12. After discovering the Nation of Islam in the politically turbulent 1960s, Clay changed his name to Muhammad Ali. He retired in 1981, a three-time world champion and Olympic gold medalist. He won the adoration of fans around the world who admired him for both his boxing accomplishments and his humanitarian work. One of those fans, President Obama, put out this message on Twitter. He shook up the world, and the world's better for it. Rest in peace, champ. Back in Louisville, the city that once segregated African Americans is lowering flags in his honor. This man says Ali funded his program to help the city's hungry.
He's been great in the ring, but I think he was more greater outside of the ring of encouraging others to be the best they could be.
In Louisville, Kentucky, I'm Polo Sandoval reporting.
Stay with ABC 7 for a special edition of 2020 Saturday coming up at 7 o'clock. Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, only here on ABC 7. Ali spent years after his retirement working for charity, and that work brought him to Ciudad Juarez. He met with hundreds of people at a gym where he helped a local community. ABC 7 reporter Julio Cesar Chavez went to that gym this morning. He joins us live with more. Julio.
Evan, it was a little more than 16 years ago when Muhammad Ali came to the borderland, visiting a Juarez gym as part of a charity event and delivering food and clothing to the community. Ali's visit to the Kiki Romero gym brought people together from all over Juarez. He stayed for hours, shaking hands and signing autographs. He donated thousands of pounds of protein powder to help organizations feed the Juarez hungry. The local boxing club ecstatic, welcoming him to their home. Their coach even getting a signed glove. Now he says it's his most prized possession.
Pues es una tristeza que se nos haya ido una historia del boxeo a nivel mundial.
He says it's a shame the world has lost a boxing legend, the best of all time.
And from Coach Martinez and the entire Kiki Romero gym, may the champ rest in peace. Evan, back to you.
Okay, Julio, thank you. And our very own Darren Hunt got to meet Ali during his visit to the borderland. That memory still fresh in Darren's mind.
He didn't say anything. He spoke very slowly. He didn't speak to me, but you knew he understood what you were saying, and it was hard to see him that way, because you remembered him as this just beautiful athlete that was amazing, and the speed and the power, and it was hard to see him that way. But to get the opportunity to have that moment with him was something I'll never forget.
And we'll hear more from Darren coming up at 6 o'clock, including what he told the champ and his response. And we want to thank Darren for sharing his story. Some of the most famous, not only people in the sporting world, but world leaders are offering their condolences. Basketball legend Michael Jordan said, quote, "This is a sad day for me and for the world. Muhammad Ali was bigger than sports and larger than life. He said he was the greatest, and he was right." Manny Pacquiao tweeting the iconic photo of Ali's first-round knockout out of sunny Liston. "We lost a giant today," he said. "Boxing benefited from Muhammad Ali's talents, but not nearly as much as mankind benefited from his humanity. Our hearts and prayers go out to the Ali family. May God bless him." And as Polo Sandoval showed us, President Obama tweeting, quote, "He shook up the world, and the world's better for it. Rest in peace, champ." Of course, boxers here in the borderland are also mourning the loss of the legend. ABC 7 sports anchor Luke Liddon spoke with a few earlier today, and he has the reactions. Luke.
Evan, it's clear Muhammad Ali is a boxing legend that will be remembered forever, but also a man that connected with so many people across the entire world. I spoke with retired professional boxer Herman Delgado and two-time Gold Glove champion Bobby Joe Valdez earlier today. They told me what they will never forget is how Muhammad Ali never backed down for what he believed in and always stayed true to himself no matter what anyone said.
I guess because of the person who he was such at a high status that when he talked, people listened. Sort of like that E.F. Hutton commercial, you know, when Muhammad Ali speaks, people listen. And that's the kind of weight he carried. You know, people wanted to hear what he said, what he had to say.
For somebody to stand for what they believe in and not have to apologize and not have to change what they're saying and not have to, well, let me reiterate that because I'm hurting people's feelings. He stood his ground, and I think that's something that made him incredible.
And still a lot more to come later tonight at 10 o'clock as we will hear from Las Cruces boxer Austin Trout and his perspective on losing a legend a little too soon. Evan, back to you.
Okay, Luke, thank you. Now let's take a live